Hello, you're watching New Vision TV News. I am Ruthina. Let us take a look at the headlines. In the headlines, Ugandan doctors urge parents to present children below 15 years for immunization against measles. In the news around East Africa, Kenya's KOSGEI is among 11 nominees on the IAAF's list of candidates for Female World Athletes of the Year. And in our Daily Pearl of Africa series, don't just go on a trip, catch the adventure on a traditional canoe. These and more stories in the full bulletin. I'm glad you're still watching New Vision TV News. We broadcast from the New Vision newsroom. We start off with the news around Uganda. Ugandan doctors who specialize in the health care of children have urged parents to present children below 15 years for immunization against measles, rubella, and polio because the vaccines are safe. Uganda launched the nationwide immunization campaign against the three diseases today. The Health Ministry say the exercise targets 18 million children. Of these, 8.2 million are children below 9 months who will receive the oral polio vaccine. Over 60 districts were hit by measles and rubella outbreaks this year. Polio, according to the Health Ministry and the World Health Organization, remains a major threat given evidence of wild and vaccine-derived strains circulating in neighboring DR Congo and South Sudan. The Uganda Pediatric Association, in a statement issued today, said the measles rubella vaccine is not associated with any disorders such as autism. The immunization will run up to October 20th. The Health Minister, Dr. Jenna Cheng, said that the campaign will be a launchpad for introducing the measles rubella vaccines into the routine immunization schedule for Uganda. Moving on, there has been a drama at the Supreme Court in the city suburbs of Kololo as city lawyer Hassan Malimabirizi was being flagged off to the East African Court of Justice, where he is slated to argue the age limit case, which commences on October 29th. At about 10:30 a.m., Mabirizi arrived at the Supreme Court aboard a blue Toyota Ipsum together with fellow lawyer Isaac Semakade. They immediately moved out the vehicle, started offloading several bundles of documents, and placed them on the balcony near the entrance of the Supreme Court main entrance. Semakade dressed Mabirizi with a robe, which is a kanzo, and handed him a stick. Semakade explained that he handed Mabirizi a stick to urge him to be brave while arguing the case amidst financial challenges. Mabirizi has implored Ugandans to take keen interest in the matter, noting that it is very crucial when it comes to the rule of law and democracy in the country. The grandfather of police spokesperson Fred Enanga conquered 10 square miles in Akokoro Park district after hunting and slaying wild animals that roamed its width and breadth. The heroics of North Okabo were disclosed on Tuesday and Wednesday when Enanga and his father George Echonga testified at the Land Probe Commission in Kampala. Akokolo is fixed in Uganda's history for its first famous son, President Milton Obote. We now move on to more stories making news around the country. 29 Marine soldiers were awarded certificates after successfully completing a study course in fisheries enforcement. The 2-week orientation program carried out at the Uganda Wildlife Education and Conservation Center in Entebbe was funded by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. The Fisheries Enforcement team was trained on how to identify sizes of mature fish, how to impound illegal fishing gear, quality assurance inspection, and the certification of fish, among others. Alfred Akankwasa, the principal fisheries inspector in the ministry, said the training was aimed at imparting skills and procedures required in handling fish malpractices. Now, Brigadier Michael Anyora, the UPDF commander of Marine Forces, expressed joy over increased fish population in Uganda's water bodies, saying it has been work of the Fisheries Enforcement team. Closing off news around Uganda is a story from Iganga district, where Bugembe Town Council is battling with residents with tendencies of dumping garbage in the Central Island along the Jinja Tororo Busia Highway. Now, instead of beautifying the road with flowers and grass, the stretch between Wanyama up to Wanyange is clearly decorated with heaps of garbage put in plastic bags. Others scatter the garbage, making it easy for the blowing winds to sweep it away. This is the road that connects Uganda to Kenya, and it takes many officials of different caliber. Bugembe was elevated to a town council status in 2008 after it was carved from Mafumbira sub-county. It has a population of about 150,000 and hosts key religious institutions like the Busoga Decision headquarters, including its main cathedral, Holy Cross Family in Uganda, and the Islamic Institute, a religious entity which trains sheikhs and the muftis. Also, it hosts the Busoga Kingdom headquarters, the Chabazinga's Palace at Igenge Hill, as well as the regional workshop for the Ministry of Works, which serves up to Mbale. That was news around Uganda. We now take a look at the news around the East African region. We started from Kenya, where Brigade KOSGEI, who broke the marathon world record at the weekend, was among the 11 nominees announced Tuesday on the IAAF's list of candidates for Females World Athlete of the Year. KOSGEI's fellow Kenyan Eliud Kipchoge, who on Saturday became the first person to run the marathon distance in under 2 hours, was one of the 11 men nominated in the list released on Monday by the governing body of the World Athletics. The two marathon runners are the only nominees known to have won a gold medal at the recent World Championships in Doha. Moving on to news in Southeast Sudan, an estimated 1.3 million South Sudanese children under 5 years old are at risk of suffering from acute malnutrition in 2020, the UN Children's Fund has said. Speaking at the launch of a report, UNICEF representative in Southeast Sudan, Mohamed Ag Ayoya, said there is a need for multi-sector approach that involves government's help in preventing malnutrition. Okay. That is it for the news around East Africa. We take a break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the news around the world.